Hey there, it's Diana. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I will be applying the Soft Jelly Tips by Sundara Nails. I'm going to be showing you how I like to apply them, and the length I have is the short almonds.
You're going to want to take some primer. So primer will help with the adhesion of the product. It's going to help the gel that you put on top of your natural nail stick a little better. So always apply a primer and let that dry fully. The primer is going to dry and it's going to have a little bit of a stickiness to it, and that's what you want, so that any gel that goes on top of it will have something to hold on to. So I've already kind of buffed my nails already as well. You should never have a smooth surface when applying gel enhancements. It's just going to pop right off. So the method I'm showing you is how I apply it so that the jelly tips will not pop off. Now to apply the tips, I don't use builder gel because it always pops off on me. I have found that when I'm using a top coat, specifically the 𝓟𝓻𝓸 Delicate Gel, which is a 2-in-1 base and top coat gel, it really sticks for a long time. Now this was applied using the Delicate Gel, and you can see here I have kind of filled it in a few times right there. And this set I've had on for probably about 3-ish weeks now, and I just kind of keep filling it. So the primer has fully dried, and what you're going to want to do is apply a layer of base coat. This one works as a base / top coat in one, so I'm going to use it throughout the entire process. So I'm just going to do a thin layer over my natural nails. I'm going to pop it in my Kiara Sky lamp. It is a 48-watt lamp, and to cure a top coat, it takes 60 seconds in that particular lamp. I'll be right back. What I have here is my Apres mini flash cure light. It's like a little flashlight, it's really handy. And I also bought the magnetic stand so that I can dock this on, and it could essentially be hands-free. So this kind of moves up and down. I will go ahead and turn it on right there. There's a switch that turns it on and off. I'm going to have it ready. All right, let's talk about the tips for a minute here. Now, these jelly tips are going to be, most jelly tips actually, were going to be very bendy. This one isn't like super bendy. I do notice that it's more bendy at the cuticle area versus the tip here. That's nice because then it gives it a little bit of structure. In order to select the right tip for your natural nail, you're going to want it to cover from free edge to free edge. So I just picked up, the hard thing about this is there's really no numbering. I wish there was numbering. That would be actually very helpful. But whatever this one is, it came from this size. I'm just going to size it up against my ring finger, and I want to show you a little something. Now, you're going to want it to fit free edge to free edge, so side wall to side wall. This one has a little bit of an opening. Not that bad. Not enough for me to want to go one size up, but I'm going to go one size up so you can see it anyway. So I'm going to put that down here so I don't lose sight of it. I'm going to take one size up, and then I'm going to put it on my nail. Now this one actually is a better fit. It's not too big where it goes beyond my side walls, so I'm going to use this one instead for my ring finger. Now if you were between sizes, so let's take the next size up, and this one is slightly too big. Yeah, it's slightly too big. What you can do is just kind of file it on the edges so that it sits a little bit more flush. Now I'm just going to go ahead and apply one on camera, and I'll apply the rest of them in fast forward mode. So I'll do this one pretty slow so you can see it. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about the tips here. So this is already pre-etched. You can see from right here, hopefully you can see at least, this is a little bit more cloudy. That means it's pre-etched for you, and you don't have to take a little file and etch the inside. The reason you etch the inside is because you want the tips to have a rough surface for the gel to adhere to, but because this is already pre-etched, you can go ahead and skip that step. But if you find that this still pops off, I would pre-etch it. I mean, not pre-etch it, I would etch it some more. So this is my first time trying this. I'm gonna try it without pre-etching it and see how long it adheres for me. Now, let's talk about length a little bit. This is the stiletto, actually it's the short almond. And I'm gonna try to see if I can get it to stick. Now that's how it looks on my nails without doing any kind of filing. I typically like to wear it a little longer. I'm gonna kind of compare it. So you can do two things. You can either buy the next size up, or actually you can apply it a little bit away from the cuticle right here, so that it gives it a little bit extra length. In general, even if the length was perfect for me, I would never apply it close right up until the cuticle. It just doesn't look flushed, and sometimes the gel seeps through and it's going to touch your skin. You don't want that. In general, you want it to be a little bit away from your cuticle anyways, and then you go in, you take a file and you file it down so that it's a little bit more flush to your natural nail. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your top coat and you're going to apply it onto your tip. Now people ask me, how do I avoid getting bubbles on my tip or in my nail? So the reason why bubbles appear is because you're kind of bouncing the brush up and down. So if you saw what I did here, I took the product and I kind of like moved it around, and I did slowly, and I did not lift my brush at all. And then I'm taking a little bit extra from my brush, and I'm just kind of like swiping it on. So the extra gel will help you fill the apex area. But these tips, I notice, are very, the apex is not very pronounced in general, so you're not going to need a ton of product. But this is my first time, so I'm going to have to experiment to see what works for me. So I'm going to turn on my lamp. Here you go. Leave it ready for me. And then to apply it, what you're going to want to do is stay away from your cuticle. You're going to start away from the cuticle area, and then you're going to hold it down firm, and you're going to rock it until the product actually touches the tip of your nails. And then from here, you see here how it's away from my cuticle? I'm even stretching it out a little bit because I want my nails to be longer. So then from here, I'm just checking the sidewalls to make sure that it is not going beyond my sidewalls. And then I'm gonna go in for a flash cure. So I'm gonna hold this down for approximately 15 seconds, and you can already feel, you're gonna be able to feel the curing because it's gonna start hardening and tightening on your nails. That's how you know it's kind of semi-cured. But you don't want to remove it too early where the gel isn't flash cured and then your tips pop off. So I can already feel the tightness. I'm gonna let go. I don't know how long that was, maybe 15 to 20 seconds or maybe longer, but that's how it looks. Now I could afford to go less product here. I don't know if you can see there's gel seeping it from the top there, but I'm not gonna be too concerned with that. What I'm gonna do is just kind of brush it out. Okay, this brush is gonna be perfect for it. It's called the Filbert Brush, but it has an oval head to it. So from here, I'm gonna take the brush and I'm gonna kind of move the gel and the product away from my skin so that it doesn't create flooding. And essentially, that's it. All right, I have them all flash cured on my nails, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in the lamp for the full 60 seconds. Now, after I have it all cured, I'm gonna go in and do a little bit of shaping. This one's a little crooked. I can see it from here, but I'm not gonna fret too much because I like my nails into more of a stiletto almond anyways. So I'm gonna be taking some length or some product off from the side. So I'm gonna show you how I kind of shape my nails. Now, if I want it more of an almond shape, so almond's going to be a little bit of wider right here, and then it goes more tapered. But with stilettos, it's like more straight, if that makes any sense. So right here on the sides, it's going to be a little bit more wider. But I haven't really decided what I want it yet. Usually, for some reason, it just kind of naturally gets into the stiletto almond shape. That's just how I guess my nails like it. Now when you're happy with the shape, now you're going to go in and get the cuticle area a little bit more flush. I'm using a sanding bit, and this is a fine sanding bit. So it's actually safe to use on the natural nail, but I'm going to use this on just the cuticle area. After you get the cuticle area flushed here, you're going to want to just kind of get a little bit of the sides too, just so it just sits a little bit more flush. Jelly tips in general, they're not going to be one size fit all in terms of, yes, it fits you, but you will have to do a little bit of work just to get it a little bit more form-fitting to your nail. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to the sides and I'm filing that in so it looks more flushed and more uniform, like it's part of my nail. And now I'm going to take this bit and I'm going to go over it, and it's essentially buffing the surface area to get it ready for gel. What I'm doing here is taking some Swipe by Young Nails. It is a nail cleanser, but it's also a dehydrator as well. You can, if you don't have this, you can use alcohol. Alternatively, you could go into under the sink and wash your hands under the sink. Just, I wouldn't use soap though, because soap contains oils, and oils, if left on your nails, it's going to contribute to lifting. Okay, now that we're done there, I'm going to take the top coat that I was using earlier, and I'm going to essentially fill in this cuticle area where it doesn't have the tips. And this is how you would do the fill too. You would file off any lifted area from the cuticle area, and then shave down some of the gel, and then fill in the cuticle. So what I'm doing here is I put a little dollop of gel on my nails here, and then I'm going to push it down to where the cuticle area is. And from there, I'm gonna glide the gel back to the tips of my nails. It might be easier this way to do, so I'm holding it this way, and I'm gonna push the gel close to my cuticle. Now what I like to have handy is this orange stick. If the gel so happens to get too close to your cuticle area here, you can take the orange stick and kind of run it around your sidewalls and cuticle area to remove the gel before curing. Alright, I have one nail down. Now I want to show you how the nail looks like with the gel on. That it's nice and flat, and then the cuticle area has some gel in it, but it's not too much where it's going to flood. I'm going to go ahead and flash cure it with my little light here. And once I start feeling it tighten, that's pretty much flash cured. Alright, let me work on my other nails. And I'll do 2 nails at a time that way, and then I'll go into the lamp and do a full cure. So I'm putting some gel, again, on my nail. Just a little dollop there, a little bead, and then I'm going to push it to where the cuticle area is. not touching it, and then I'm going to bring it down. Now, especially when you're doing a fill, for example, I'm going to give you an example right here. The cuticle area needs a little bit more gel, so I'll do this process twice. Instead of going in with a lot of gel the first time and trying to fill that up, I'll just do this twice. But if I wanted to do it all at once, I put another dollop, and then I'm going to push it into the cuticle area, not touching my cuticle, and then swiping the rest of it to the tip. Okay. And then let's see if I got any on my close to my cuticle area, because we don't want flooding. Just remove that. And that's how it looks. Not bad. A little bit of flooding here. Let me get rid of that. And you only want to work on a couple nails at a time because it's gel, it will run. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. It is all cured and done. I'm just gonna finish off with some cuticle oil. All right, this is all done. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, go ahead and give me a like. And if you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate it if you did so. Go ahead and click on that bell to be notified when I upload new content as well. I will catch you guys on my next video. Thanks for joining me here today. Bye.